wrap-up is for the evening of Tuesday, the 23rd of August, 2022. So, 3 days more, really 2.5 days before we get to the Fed symposium. Actually, that's Jackson Hole is what it's properly called. We'll see Fed Chair Powell speak Friday morning, but Thursday it opens, and we'll start hearing a lot of Fed speak and a lot of central bankers speak this coming week. We're right at the end of the earnings season, and the retailers are coming out. They're not looking good at all. If you're taking a look at Nordstrom, Macy's, and what's going on, they're all stuck with inventory that got caught up, as you know, in the supply chain issue, then stuck in the ports, and by the time it got to them to move, well, you're ending the season because it's clothing and things of that nature. You got to move it, and you move it at a fire sale. Just get rid of it. So they're not going to look too good on their earnings. I still question how companies around the next earnings cycle are going to look. I'm just wondering if everybody's starting to pull in a little bit, wondering what they should or shouldn't do. I think it's going to get to be very interesting. But the elephant in the room is the Jackson Hole. Do you take big positions in front of it? That becomes a difficult question. As we look at NVIDIA, you can see that the market had its run and it's gone into a complete pause right now. You're still in a downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. The market fell down to the 45-day average, one of the support areas combined with the Bollinger Band. They came together right there. That doesn't mean you can't go lower, but when you add to it, you're oversold down into that number, what's going to make it break a lot further? Who's going to take big positions, unless there's some piece of news I don't know about, in front of the Jackson Hole event? AMC, not even a bounce. 2 days in a row under the lower band, and it's even worse than that. Each day is lower than the prior day, and each day closed in the lower part of the quadrant, if you will, underneath. It's a breakout to the downside. It tells me that in good rallies, the pros will be looking to sell this. I don't think they'll sell just yet. Why? Because you're oversold. If it embeds, yes. If not, they'll give it the room, but you've done massive damage. Getting back over these numbers is going to be hard. I know some of you will write me about APE. That's another version of stock that they did, that they issued trading well around $6 or so. And you're saying, well, with the two together, look at my value. Hey, folks, I'm looking at this. This fell apart. It's really simple. I told you the movie theaters are no good. I don't know how to be any clearer. I don't know how they can make a business model that works. The guy that figures it out is going to have something. It's not easy. They try events, ballets, sporting events, old movies coming in. I give them credit for trying everything. The problem is they're not bringing enough people in on a regular basis that, other than the summer blockbusters and then waiting, if you will, for the Christmas couple of movies that'll be blockbusters, you can't make it on that. Cineworld going under. I predict this one's got the same issue. In Apple, I looked for the market to pull back and go into a stall here. Now, each day that goes by, we're closer to September 7th. I can't wait to place my order for my iPhone 14. I have a 10, so I'm entitled. No, I don't get one every year or two. I think that's a waste of money. I think you can be prudent with it. My 10 works just fine for me. It's got a cracked screen right now. Why would I replace it? Let it have the cracked screen. I dropped it when I went out in June, driving with my son to California as he took on his job in just 4 hours south of Sacramento, in the middle of forest. It's crazy, but he loves it. Okay, but I dropped it there, and that's where it broke. All right, so in looking at this, now the big move is over. You can get bounces, but no, as a chartist, it's got to rebuild itself to tell me what it's going to do. Disney, as I told you, as we're ending the summer, those places are not going to be full the way they were. The kids are back in school in Illinois and other parts of the country. They're beginning earlier because of COVID here especially, and it's full swing. I see it. I see the school buses. The kids are all over. I'm fortunate. I happen to live right where Michelle Obama went to high school, one of the top high schools in Chicago, Whitney Young. And they have the most fabulous tennis courts and fields and all. It's a public school, by the way. And they've just thrown a fortune into it. And I happen to live right over there. I walk there. I watch all the kids practicing today for the football game, season. I love it. It's great. When you look at XLF, all right, trend down into the first supports between the 100-day average, momentum down. There's nothing bullish here. I'm not too keen on selling up here with stops over that in front of Jackson Hole. I'm not scared of the dollar. It's only $1 risk, $1.25. It's in front of Jackson Hole. I want to be ultra cautious in front of that. The same with XLI, and I'm sure some will say, well, Ira, you know, a chart's a chart. Why don't you just take on the risk? Why don't you take on the risk? I'll do it the way I want to do it, which means I got 50 years of experience in this. 50. I've seen what can happen with the unknown on big events. I'm going to stand back. I'll let you guys do it, and I'll be a Johnny-come-lately. In the semiconductor part, as NVIDIA goes, so goes this. This could fall a bit further. You could follow the 177.08, the lower band, to the 100-day average. There's momentum here. The trend down, the bias down, still very much in the bear camp. If it were not for this Jackson Hole, I'd be getting fairly aggressive. I just saw today a huge investment, Brookdale and one of the, maybe it was Intel, getting together and doing a big plant. We're talking lots of money going into bringing chips back to America. Yay. That's all I can tell you. Yay. We've got to take our destiny back in our hands. It was phenomenal when you can make things in China, Indonesia, all these other wonderful countries. And I say that meaning what I'm saying, but then you can't count on them. And, you know, you're always at the mercy, especially of China, of crazy practices that they're doing. I'm not for it. I'm for taking it back, let them do their thing, we'll do ours. They're going to align with Russia anyways. They're not going to be America's friend. They won't be our enemy. We're both too big to be enemies, per se. We'll be friendly enemies. That's how I predict that. On the energy sector, what you're looking at here is the threat from what? From OPEC saying, oh yeah? We think that you guys are manipulating the futures market, that they're not according to OPEC Plus in jive with what's going on with Brent, and they want it to be. And if you don't like it, we'll cut production so everything comes together even more. Because the futures are discounting certain events. What are those events? They're discounting the fact that economies are going like this. So what happens? Well, if China stops buying the Russian oil, more oil is available somewhere in the world, and price pressures come. So how do you stop that? Let's give you less oil. Always told you they weren't your friend. And this is right after, isn't it, that President Biden went there and made nice to the Saudi prince? Okay. GLD. Okay, you're into a zone where I think professional money covered shorts. I told you on the first challenge of the Bollinger Band that would be the case. Trend down in a vertical price break. Let me define vertical, by the way. It's when each move has a lower low and not a higher high. You finally got the bounce off the Bollinger Band to break that practice. Now, does that mean you can't go lower? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you found a support zone. In GDX, my work says that you've gone from a Bollinger Band high to a low. You're caught in this sideways action as I thought you would be, and now the chart action is proving me right. COPX, I'm going to repeat. China cannot afford to let its property market go down the drain. They've already thrown $29 billion for the 2 days ago now for the properties, developers, managers, whatever they call them there. They've taken interest rates down, minor, but down somewhat for the 1 and 5 year mortgages. They have to do more, but that's why copper's getting a bid in it. You know, every time you're going to say, well, I'm going to get that apartment building with 500 units, I'm going to get this row of whatever they call their housing over there. I've not been there, so I cannot tell you that I know. But the concepts are always the same. Well, I got to put electricity in the building. I got to bring electricity to the building. I got to have road development if there's not roads over there. If there are, I got to upgrade the systems for it. It uses copper. That's why copper suddenly is finding its legs. TLT, do you really want to be friendly any of these markets going into the Jackson Hole event? Not me. Do I think maybe it's not a smart move to sell into a Bollinger Band? Let me explain this. That's what I think. Are you embedding? You're about to be embedded. So that means on good rallies, ideally, after 9 o'clock on Friday, get a nice rally after the speech is done. Maybe it offers a selling opportunity. UUP, you're up to the upper Bollinger Band and you're crossing over. That's what you're doing right now. So you're getting under the Bollinger Band. That's what you expect. But remember what I said, this can turn into a gorilla glue, which each day you're basically going to hit that band and develop an embedded reading, and that means even more strength. I keep hearing people tell me how the dollar's going to get weak and the euro's going to pick up. Maybe they know something I don't know. I read today's charts, not what's going to happen 6 months from now. How do you have any idea? So right now, euro's bearish, the dollar's very bullish, and that's how you should approach the market. Now, another way to approach the market is with me first thing in the morning. Because first thing in the morning, I record 2 videos. At 5:20 to 5:30 now, I'm back into my mode where I'm recording my morning futures, trade ideas. Going to review with you what's going on in Asia, what's going on in Europe, how's it moving here, what are the reports coming out, were there any big events overnight that we should also pay attention to. We first do futures because they trade 23 hours a day. You heard me. They open at 5 o'clock Sunday night, they close at 4 o'clock Friday, and they're open all that time. We're going to cover all the main sectors with trade ideas from both longer term, weekly charts, and shorter term. I am not a day trader, so if that's what you're looking for, it's not what I do. I am if the price and objective is hit or I get stopped out. Other than that, no, that's not what they're done. These are the categories between that and the futures that we cover for you. 40 charts in each. It takes about 15, 20 minutes for me to get them down. In the bottom of each of the videos on our website, there's a scroll bar. You pull it, and in big letters, it tells you what section you're in to help you with the stock section, or you're in the spider ETF of the energies, interest rates. Same in the futures, stock indices, where are you? And it's easy to get around. A lot of people just want to go, hey, I just want to see today what are the energies doing. They scroll right to it, they got it, and they move on. So I make it easy. Why not take a look at it? All you need to do is go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. You see that right there. Go under the word research. That's where it's all explained. Or you can just take your cursor, move it up, follow my finger here, an icon will appear, click it, and you'll be taken right to that area. I'm Ira Epstein, in a holding pattern pretty much, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.